everybody, welcome back to our channel. We are the Pageant Gurus, and today this is a very, very special episode because it's the crown anniversary of Harnaaz Sandhu's Miss Universe win. And we are super excited to do this because you know why? Harnaaz is the reason why we decided to start our channel. Guru, this was an absolutely an historic day, not only for pageant lovers in India, but also for us. Please tell our viewers why that is.
Absolutely, Emma. I think this was truly a historic win for India. And as we inch closer to the crown anniversary, the third year in running of Harnaaz Kaur Sandhu, Miss India Universe 2021 and Miss Universe 2021, we look back at those exciting moments which really made history not only for India, but also for us as the pageant gurus. I believe we've not forgotten our roots. So this is paying respect, paying homage, paying tribute to the wonderful Miss Universe 2021 to relive our memories, Emma. Those moments when we were up at night, trying to get things in place, praying, lighting the diya. It was very, very emotional. It was very, very personal for both of us. So I'm quite excited and actually emotional going through the thought of going through it all over again.
Absolutely. And you know what? It was so true, this entire pageant. We don't realize how profoundly it affected Guru and I, because come out and speak for yourself. Her winning speech, of course, her answer was exactly what we did. We were speaking for her when she was being bullied by the pageant community during her reign. And that's when I think one of the first episodes was about bullying. And we were like, okay, we're not going to take that anymore. We're going to stand up for our queen. And this was the birth of not just pageant gurus, but of us actually being camera shy and coming finally on camera and being able to be ourselves and able to share all our love and our wisdom as well with you guys. So it was transformational for us in such a deep way. So Harnaaz is our favorite queen. Obviously, we have lots of favorite queens from India, but Harnaaz holds a special place in our heart. So this is going to be interesting because it is actually a retrospect live reaction. Post show reaction, but a live reaction, which you should have seen, which we were unable to shoot at the time. So we're going to do it now, and hopefully, this is going to relive some amazing memories for you. So we'll get started, and this is how it's going to go. We're going to go from obviously how this show progressed, from, of course, the opening number, but with her introduction, and everything is about Harnaaz as she advanced during the final show. So we're going to start with, of course, her introduction.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It gives me still goosebumps just listening to the Sherni, Harnaaz Kaur Sandhu, India. It was something that I'd really
And
wanted
it
all
was,
this while,
yeah,
because we've seen the yesteryear queens, they've all been great, but they've lacked the punch, they've lacked the fire, they've lacked the hunger to win the crown. And from moment zero, she announced her arrival. So pageant community knew that, okay, this is someone not to be taken for granted.
absolutely. And I remember when she was just introduced and she said Harnaaz Kaur Sandhu, and she was in Namaste, and she held that position. She didn't move her arms about or scream or anything. It was so beautiful. It was just that India thing, and I know it just, I mean, flawless. I think we were having,
It was powerful,
hiccups, and my heart was skipping a beat, and it was the most, craziest pageant nerves that I've experienced in my whole life was watching this
And
moment.
after a
So
long time, we
yeah,
saw that the Miss Universe had a very nice stage. It was big, it was well
yes,
lit. There, it was really a grand show. So, it was like Sone Pe Suhaga,
yes,
I would say. It was like
absolutely.
mesmerizing.
And I think this was one of the good shows that they did at the time because the whole concept of where the fans were in the middle and there was a circle around, that stage made sense and it was beautiful because they worked it, they walked it, and they had a staircase that they came down, which of course we will
It had
focus on
everything
on
actually.
the
And it had a
coming
sort of
up in the
eight, it
show.
also had the
So
infinity.
it was, I think, the stage production, music, it was good. So this is one of the good ones. Hmm?
Let's move to the next one. It's the preliminary swimsuit round.
India. Harnaaz draws inspiration from her mother, who broke generations of patriarchy to become a successful gynecologist. This 21-year-old is now an advocate for women's rights to education and freedom of choice. India.
Oh my God, the Sherni with the leopard skin. I think this was better than the stupid capes that they do. So yeah, I love this because it looked absolutely amazing on her. It had a tigress Sherni look. Oh my God. It was a one piece. And I still remember, Guru, when we saw this look, you were like, oh my God, she's in the one piece, she's the one piece. He said that. He screamed like, "Oh my God, she chose a one piece." So we would have been like, "Oh my God, was she was gonna wear a bikini?" But then the cap sleeves, it's sort of like a cap sleeve thing, very unique design of a swimsuit, and it looked amazing. I mean, it was beautiful. It's so young, it's flirty, but very sweet and innocent at the same time. So I think she nailed it. This was an absolute stunner. Her walk, her slender figure, and her turn and her eyes. I mean, wow. Guru, I
Where do I start?
how did you feel if you
The
can
moment,
remember?
she knows her camera angle so well that the moment the camera panned on her, she was staring into our souls. She was like, I have come here to win. Now you see my show, And then there was Andrea Meza who was saying harness. So I still remember Harnaaz ko harness. And there was a point in which you could feel that she's taking the energy of the entire moment. And there were some vloggers who started saying that, this is very fast. Her walk in certain segments has become very fast and she should tone it down. But I feel that she rocked it. And you could clearly see Urvashi Rautela clapping. And that was a very, very sweet gesture. It was very natural
Hmm.
for her to, feel that national pride. And to the right contestant, I would say it wasn't undue or unfairly provided. And even her last role in
Hmm.
which she stood was very effortless. I just felt that she got everything right that night. It was amazing. And she wasn't the most toned body,
Absolutely. I think it was her
but
moment
I
to
think the
shine.
swimsuit really worked wonders for her. I think the way she managed to still show her face card, I think that was brilliant. And I think that's what kept us completely in awe. And her looks and her eyes, I think that really set her apart compared to all the other, almost 90 odd countries that
I
year.
still remember Guru during the preliminaries and during we were monitoring her very closely during all the events and the festivities that were going on. Her styling was spot on throughout. I mean, Saisha Shinde did a fantastic job on her outfits during the events and all the preliminary shows and whatever that was going on. Every look, everything, and I think Muba was the guys to do the official
Cuba. In
makeup
fact, she was
ones,
in the
and they
top
did her
five
look with
of
the
the
blue
Mughal photo
Saisha
shoot.
Shinde dress. Yeah, yeah, so it was a beautiful big bow, baby blue outfit that was designed and the makeup that was done officially and with the big hair that suited her. The sleek look suited her. Everything she was spot on. I don't think I could flaw this girl in anything. Her walk, I memean, no, I loved it because those eyes, oh my God, I don't think I've seen a more sexier look in a very, very long time. You had I mean, you've had past queens that have looked beautiful and attractive and powerful, but this girl was sexy and she was fire, absolute firecracker. She was a pataka that night, and it showed. Okay, so we're gonna go quickly to the next part that happened, which was Guru.
The evening gown in her preliminaries. Let's have a look.
India. Harnaaz is an actor and theater artist with 2 movies slated for global release in 2022. This 21-year-old go-getter has a degree in information technology and is currently pursuing her master's in public administration. India.
Wow, it is just so amazing reliving this moment when we saw her because we were not sure what we're gonna see as a preliminary gown. And oh my God, it was stunning. And you know what? That gown was so heavy, it had so much of embellishments on it, but it did not drown her. She owned it. That's how you should pull a powerful book, where you own the gown and you own the garment, and that's what happened. And if you see this, Guru, when I saw this, just look at that moment when she walks down the stairs. It's like fluid, it's just flowing. It's just she doesn't realize there's stairs there. It's just she's gliding down it. She doesn't look. She you can't even, sometimes you see that the girl's thinking on the stairs, like, okay, I'm walking down this. She had this absolute eye contact with the camera, with the audience, and absolute, upper body was stiff and tall. Oh my
Did you
God. And
notice
then
when
when she finally comes down the stairs and then she takes that little turn around, she has a teeny tiny stumble, but you don't let you don't see it in her face or her body reaction or anything. She just absolutely was on mark. She goes to the front, she gives the widest smile and the sexiest fierce eyes, and then she does her famous side view pose. Oh my God, she's iconic for that. And you know what, you just don't even realize that there was this tiny stumble there. Nothing. It just worked with her. I mean, I'm not saying that because we love her so much, but take a look at that, guys, and then you realize how she was there. She was born to, she was born to rule. She had that look, and she was born to win, and then that was her agenda entire competition and it showed. So in this part it showed, it was like, I don't care if I stumble, I'm here and this is me. And wow, that's what I got. And how was it for you, Guru? What did you feel during this
This
entire
was the only
preliminary that we
time
were dying
in,
to
this was the only time in
see?
the entire preliminary where I felt, oh my God, nazar na lage, nazar lag gayi. It was like that 1 second when she stumbled, I was like, oh my God. Like, let me start. When she came down the stairs, I felt that the gown did not flatter her curves enough. I think she has got a very curvaceous body, and the gown, especially at the midriff, did not flatter her. However, again, this time the smoky eyes and the makeup, she looked $1 million. And I think she clearly can teach a masterclass in how to walk the stairs without looking as if मैं हम जहां चलते हैं रोड वहीं पे बन जाती है,
Yes,
लाइन वहीं से
yes.
शुरू हो जाती है. It's like she
Yeah, yeah,
creates the road, she creates the path. And very true, Emma,
yeah.
it's very easy to feel, oh my God, I have stumbled, and it shows on your face. We've seen enough and more contestants feel that way, and it feels that, okay, I've lost it. But I believe that she really knew how to control her emotions. And she didn't just do that when she gave her power pose, when she looked and she smiled as if you are not going to get away from not crowning me. It's like a threat to the universe. And then, her
Mhm.
off shoulder look as if, ha, I'll still rule. I believe
Yeah,
that
like,
after that, the entire universe was like, okay, we bow down to Harnaaz Sandhu. So it was a near perfect, I would say a near perfect, humanly perfect performance at the preliminaries. And immediately after that, in fact, on everyone's list, she shot up immediately, you know, and we couldn't sleep because just after 2 days were the finals. So it was really,
mm,
really heartening to see that after so many years, India has got a delegate that is showing what we are capable of. So
yeah, I think I was super excited for her when I saw her in Diva, and something in my soul just said that this is it. I don't know why, but this is. I remember telling Guru also when we were watching Diva when she won. I was like, you know what? This is it. This is it. I don't know why.
her
It's just that
gown
you
was
get these
designed, her
signs
gown
from
was
the
designed,
universe, and I think I got this
her
message.
gown was designed
So,
by Pankaj and Nidhi. And we were like curious whether this is Saisha's
Pankaj.
gown or not. We were, confused. So when we knew that it was from Pankaj and Nidhi, we knew that, okay, Saisha's main gown is coming for finals. So That was also they said Fulkari,
Yes, yes.
something is going to happen. They kept it under the wraps and we did not know till the last minute. Uh, but that's at the final round. So now we will look at the final competition with Steve Harvey when she was called in the first semifinals cut.
India. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Steve.
What did you say to me just now?
I said namaste.
You must stay?
Namaste. I greeted you in Hindi.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you must stay. I said, well, you only got a minute. Oh. I hear you do some pretty good animal impersonations. Yeah, they got that question. Let's hear your best one.
Oh my God, Steve, I was not expecting to do this on world stage, but I have to do this. I have no other option. I love cats. I love animals. I would love to mimic a cat. Brace yourself, everyone. But I have to say this, Steve, that, this talent made me realize that we should never compromise with our hobbies because that can lead to your dream career. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm still stuck on the cat sound. Thank you very much.
Okay. So this was the relief that finally India made it to the semifinals. Of course, she had to, but she came. And it was...
We knew she was going to make it. She had to make it, but then there's always that heart attack moments and then where we're getting...
Yeah, we never know.
Yeah, we keep getting scared like something bad could happen. Like, if we knew that she had to make it, if not her, then it's just like, oh God, how could it not be? So yes, we were super excited, and I do remember when her name was called. She had this catty look that she gave Steve Harvey. It was so cute, and she was confident throughout. Like, I mean, this is what she kept together, and this by far was the toughest competition because the girls that were there in the top 16, 20, right? It was top 20.
16, I
It
think.
was
I don't know.
absolutely anybody. I think it was top 16. I can't remember.
16.
But the fact is that the girls were so strong. We were like, oh my God, how's that gonna happen? How's it gonna happen? We were like,
I
just not
loved
so
the way
sure,
when she
but
was coming down the
oh my God.
stairs,
So
she had this, her eyes just lit up, when she was coming down the stairs. And it was so funny that Steve Harvey
and she gives
said,
Steve Harvey a look, and then, yeah, confident, cute.
And she said namaste, and Steve Harvey said, you must stay. And then she said, namaste, I'm greeting you in Hindi language. And I think there was a lot of backlash on this, that why Steve Harvey reducing, empowered young women to mimic animals rather than ask more about her advocacy. But I think she really turned the tables in the sense that while she did perform, her meowing, which again became very controversial when the likes of Puerto Rico and Paraguay has talked about that we are not kittens or we are not cats, we are like tigresses or lioness. But she turned that into a way where she mentioned that, it's very important that one should always nurture one's hobbies, and you never know that could lead you to your career. And in the end, Steve Harvey also meowed. So that was a very cute, cheeky thing. But I wasn't totally happy with his question. But then I think
It was sweet. It's meant to be light, and she made that.
Into something that is still showing.
She made that quirky moment also very powerful.
Count.
When she said what she did. So it should be light-hearted at that moment. Usually they do ask fun questions. People say whatever they want, they got offended or what. But the fact is she owned it, because what she followed after saying that, how you nurture hobbies, was a very powerful thing, and she just gave it back as well. So I think, well, yeah, again, she owned this moment, and I don't think we were offended, to be honest, because this girl is strong and she can speak up for herself, and that's what she did. Okay, so then came, of course, what came after this, Guru?
The swimsuit competition.
I'm watching
Let's
it
have a look.
again.
India.
We taking care of business. It's time to step it up. You either coming with us, or you'll be left in the dust. 'Cause I'm ready for my
Okay, so
statement.
this was the same swimsuit in the finals, but her walk was more confident, it was more powerful, it was more lively, energetic. I loved it, and she owned it again. Like I couldn't, I mean, from the preliminary walk to the final, huge difference. You could see more power. It was a power walk that we saw that night, and oh, can't take my eyes off her. Absolutely spot on. I think she's, apart from Aishwarya Rai at that time, this girl is one of the best in catwalks that I've ever seen. Guru, how was it for you?
It was so weird that just before Harnaaz, it was Miss USA whose performance was
Hmm.
there. And at that point in time, the music, Raise Your Flag, it suddenly was transitioning into another song, which is Girls Gotta Do What Girls Gotta Do. And during that lull moment is when her entry was there. And I was like, oh my God, I always feel that during transitions, the ladies who come, they kind of lose out on this team because it's neither here nor there. But it was such a momentous moment where this transition led to, it was like a Bond movie, like da-da-da-da-dan, da-da-da-da-dan, da-da-da-da-dan. So while she's descending the stairs, that look was so powerful. She had reduced her speed at which she was walking. uh, I think she was really receptive to what the audiences had to say and giving feedback, and she did superb. I think she
Hmm.
really nailed it. She really upped her game during finale. In fact, all the other delegates as well, if I
Hmm.
recall, really did well compared to preliminaries because now it was purely game on and it was fire. It could be anyone's game. So I was so delighted with her
Hmm.
entire Passarella. It was wow.
Stunning. And then came the next cut, which was
The top
top
10.
10, right?
Heading into the final 10 is India.
I'm Harnaaz Sandhu, the stereotype of patriarchy system in my community, and now I'm looking forward to take the legacy forward.
India.
All right. So then, of course, came the cut to the top 10. I think she was the fourth girl announced, the third girl announced. Um, and oh my goodness, it was
Sigh
like
of relief.
absolutely exciting because we didn't have to wait too long to hear her name. And well, then we were wanting this because we were dying to see her evening gown.
Actually,
I think
it's
that was one of the biggest reasons. Like, she needs to be an evening gown, and she's got it because that's what I felt.
true.
How was
I
it for
do
you?
believe that Miss Universe organization should realize that the pageant fans love the evening gown competition. It's something that's very unique. It's
Hmm,
something that's very personal. It's something that's very national. So
hmm.
definitely, Emma, getting into the fourth spot, sigh of relief. We had a montage where she spoke about her mom and gynecologist and how she has moved out of the patriarchal society. A very well put together montage. But then we were extremely eager to watch what the gown was. And I do believe at that point, they'd started, Miss Diva started posting sort of hints as to what the color is
Yeah.
going to be, what the design is going to be. And during that time, I ran to my the temple that I have, and we by the end of the
I
whole thing,
remember.
there were about 7 or 8 candles which I had put because it had to be like throughout. I wanted to have a light that is throughout the entire pageant, and these breaks these were not timed. We didn't know when they will come back because there were sometimes advertisements or there were some
Yeah.
fillers, so one would never know. So we would quickly go and take a bathroom break, check if the light is lowing, and then you would say, Guru, come. And then I would say, okay, I'm coming. And because it was like we morning hours in the morning. So That
And
was a
FYI,
personal.
guys, same problem that happened to me this year happened that year. I could not watch it because it was not showing live.
Ah,
Videos getting pulled
yes.
down on YouTube, and this is how we did it. Guru put it on his flat screen. I video called him from my WhatsApp to his, and he pointed the phone towards his flat screen. And we were talking on another device, so there were four devices like we were talking on, and we watched it together.
In
And
fact, there is
he
a
eventually
there is a small
recorded the live
reel.
reaction, the winning reaction from another phone. Yeah.
True.
So I'm on his little WhatsApp, and then he's there near the television, and there was
So you
another
can
camera
hear
recording our live reaction. It,
see,
yes,
you can
it was a
hear her
nightmare
voice,
even
and
then.
but you
And
can
this,
only see me. It's like a little convoluted. But
yeah,
I do
we'll
remember.
try and find and put it on this video. You gotta see it. I'm on one of the phones screaming, and he's actually there in front of the screen, but
In
he's
fact,
looking at
Harnaz
me
had
on
liked.
the on.
If you remember, Harnaz last year had liked our reel that year,
Yes,
because we had actually,
yes.
at least I had gotten the courage to put it, because it was so animated. It was so me.
Mm.
It was so emotional. Right now is the crowning glory where we get to see
It's the
her
evening
evening
gown.
gown.
India.
All right, and then that was the evening gown, which we were waiting for. Like, oh my God, I can't believe how long. And we tried so hard not to see the gown if it was going to be on Instagram. And the first look, Guru, when she walked, and the chandelier on top, oh my God, it was like a jewel just
Dream.
dropped, from the chandelier. And she was like one with it. It was absolutely, I mean, stunning. Take a look at that. I don't know how it just, I think it matched her gown. So it popped. It looked like she was just part, like that was her crown. That was like her crown, and it just was like a symbolic thing that, guys, she's winning the crown. So, I mean, it was amazing. And she did that. She's the only one who got down the stairs and did a turn. I don't remember
Mm.
anybody else doing it because Potrika had this thing. Everyone
Dislodged
had the look,
shoulder.
but she did a powerful turn and she did two of them. And yeah, when she comes around and she does that, oh my God, girl, I think it was just breathtaking, that walk. I mean, you have the lava walk, but have you seen the Harnaaz walk? I mean, that's how a tigress walks.
The
That's how she
dream.
stalks her prey. That was a walk.
It's very important to
What
have
did you
a
think? What were
winning
you
dress.
feeling? I mean, now
You
the
know,
way,
it's very important to have a winning dress, and India, unfortunately, has not been really very creative when it comes to giving those. So it was always a if and but between what the sketch says and what comes as final output. One is always nervous till one sees it, and they said that she's going to inbuild her culture of some tradition of some Fulkari from Punjab, and we were like, I hope it doesn't become a hot mess.
yeah,
What really stood out was
yeah.
the whole scatter of the what do you call it, those
From her
beads.
navel, these little um uh, um what were they? There were
They
lines of
call it
crystals, I
scatter.
think. They were like
That's what
Saisha,
Saisha had.
yeah,
She spoke about the fact that how she has designed her and her costume, and she spoke about, because she's very open, that's why, but she's very complex, which is why you have these zigzag things, and but she's open to learning, that's why there is this scatter. So there was this whole thought process as to where, and how that was thought through. And the color was silver, the winning color, as Saisha says, though the whole story, I think everyone knows that she wanted a orange dress, and that was kind of.
yeah, and there's orange inside. A piece of orange cloth was sewed inside the dress so that she had it right next to her heart. I think it was somewhere here, so she could like see it. And I think that worked. Her power color was with her, and the sherry, the fiery thing. And you notice when she comes, the first look, there's this uh, mantle piece, which there is a fireplace. So that fire's in the back. And then when she turns, you see that fire, and I was like, ooh, okay, it's all working. It's just all
Well,
her, you know?
it was like
I
we are
mean,
inching
God,
closer, we are
she
inching
just
closer,
killed.
inching closer. It was like, okay, you know, still have goosebumps. No, it was
And
a
then somebody
fantastic
did this
performance.
reel on Instagram I saw recently. Guru, there's somebody who did this reel. If your gown matches the
Ah, yes,
background,
yes,
you're
yes.
winning. Okay. So, and then now when I think about it, that firework, that orangey thing was with her, and that crystal chandelier was her gown, and it just blended. It just was so cohesive. She won. So it was funny. I don't know who did that, but Guy, you were spot on that. If the background's matching, the girl's
One
winning.
pet
So
peeve
it
that
did.
most of us
Hmm.
had was that the final pose was missing because of poor camera work on that night. So they were chopping off the end pose. It was like before
Hmm.
she could stand and give her final pose, the next lady would come. I think that was one thing that wasn't really well done. However, there were enough and more footage that came out,
Hmm.
and if they would have actually showcased that in the final night, then it would be as powerful as Pia's smize or Catriona the final when she twirls. That the final moment was not given to any contestant in Miss Universe 2021 for the evening gown competition, which is so important. You end the head ramp and then you give your power pose. That was not given to us that night. But I think she had done enough and more to really seal the deal when it came to moving to the top five.
First in the final five is India.
India has a degree in information technology and is currently pursuing her master's degree.
So, well, Harnaaz made it to top five, and of course, then the next is what we're going to talk about is the question and answer run, which was very, 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 very important. And I think, yeah, let's take a look and you see what she answered. And the question, of course, Guru will explain the entire thing to you. So, Guru, she picked up who was her judge again?
So it was refreshing that she was called out as the first in the top five. So that was a big, big relief because she would be coming in the top five compared to her predecessor, which was Adeline Castillo. So at least both of them have made into a top five, and India has pretty much solidified their position as a country that has given two top five finalists in consecutive years. So great achievement that time. She was asked a question on climate change by Miss Ria.
India is first. Okay, your question comes from Rina.
Hi, Miss India.
Hi, Miss Rina.
Many people think climate change is a hoax. What would you do to convince them otherwise?
Honestly, my heart breaks to see how nature is going through a lot of problems, and it's all due to our irresponsible behavior. And I totally feel that this is the time to take actions and talk less, because our each action could either kill or save nature. Prevent and protect is better than repent and repair, and this is what I'm trying to convince you guys today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rina, yeah.
And she spoke while, there was nothing
Oh,
specifically
yeah.
special about her answer, but I believe, her closing was on a high where she
I
talked
like that
about
she said, Guru.
prevent and protect is better than repent and repair. And I think that catchy phrase is something that really helped her advance, because many girls just, because it's such a common topic, it's very
Hmm.
difficult to be innovative and bring out a new perspective. So I think those words, and I do feel that, it's not that she didn't know and she had memorized these, but I think to bring it out at the right time in that pressure moment, I think she did
And
well.
also, I love the fact that she started and she also said that, talk less and show my actions, do my actions. So that does make sense when you're talking about climate change. how you are actually, promoting this cause or bringing awareness to it. Action makes more sense than talking. So I think that was amazing. And she was very sincere about that response, which I loved. And I think that nailed it for her because after that, we saw the top three and we were like dying. We were literally dying because this was it. Top three was it. And, it was tough competition and it was, yeah, well, take a look.
The second woman still in the competition is India.
All right, so this was obviously the last three girls standing, and this was it. Of course, South Africa, we knew she was gonna be there, but then it was like, oh my God, who's next? Who's next? Miss India. Oh my God, I think that was like, okay, we're just sniffing the
Inches.
crown. It's right there, and of course, then came Paraguay, which we never cared about much. But anyway, we'll see what happened next because this what happened in the final round of questioning, which was what advice would you give to young people watching on how to deal with pressure they face today? This was
India, please join me. Here is the question. What advice would you give to young women watching on how to deal with the pressures they face today?
Well, I think the biggest pressure the youth of today is facing is to believe in themselves. To know that you are unique and that's what makes you beautiful. Stop comparing yourselves with others and let's talk about more important things that's happening worldwide. I think this is what you need to understand. Come out, speak for yourself because you are the leader of your life. You are the voice of your own. I believed in myself and that's why I'm standing here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
very important issue. So I think, like I said at the beginning of the show, this inspired us to speak out and be yourself and don't compare yourself to others. There are these little things that have got stuck in my mind, and I still kind of relive it in my daily life as well. Stop comparing yourself to others. I think that is the most amazing, iconic, you know, words of wisdom that came out of her or anyone in a very, very long time. And usually it's very, questions that we hear about mothers and women empowerment. This is something that was very important. And this is something she faced as well during her reign. Guru, I think for me, this was not just her winning answer. This was wisdom. This was a quote that you want to remember for the rest of your life because it helps you in ways you cannot imagine, you know. Um, Step up, speak for yourself. It's just unbelievable because we face pressures in our days. We have so much of stress. We have anxiety. Everybody has anxiety today. How do you deal with pressures of life? And yes, being on social media, people compare you to everybody else. You compare beauty standards to everybody else, even, your own talents, your own abilities, and everywhere in life, you are being compared. But the fact is, you are your own unique person, and that's what she said in the speech. So it was absolutely biblical, is my word I'm going to use for this moment. Guru, now to you, because I know this was very, very close to your heart for a very special reason. So I'm going to give it to Guru now.
Many things, going through our mind. One was that she's come in the top three. The last time an Indian came in the top three was when Manpreet Brar came as the top three in 1995. So been quite a while. And last year, though everybody had Adeline right on top, she did not perform as well as we expected, as well as what people expected India to be. So there was a bit of nervousness, I would say. And I didn't want her inner voice to get fizzled out. And thank God it did not. Because the question was that, how do you tell young women? And she spoke about youth. So and she took a pause for thinking. And that one pause could easily be that one loses track of what one has to say. or one really has thought something and it comes out forcefully. Thankfully, it came out, the latter way. And when she said, "Come out, speak for yourself," and it wasn't just for the sake of being impressive. This was something that was coming from her heart.
Yes.
And I think that's where we all had goosebumps. It was like, yes, it was like, okay, she had that power, she had that voice, she had that confidence, and her voice was coming out clearly with impact. And and that's why I'm standing here today. So she closed it on a very, very personal feeling as to she has accomplished this, and that's why she's standing here. And you rightly mentioned, Emma, that we keep alluding back to the fact that don't compare yourself. Even when we are going through our own struggles, we take recluse to this thought that, okay, we need to go back to ground zero and understand that there's no point in comparing things. And yes, challenges do come in lives, and she's a standing a fine example of a person who went through all of this, standing 3 years from now. We would never have known that she would, during her reign, go through so much, that she would actually be living her life as to what she said in that final answer. So it was very moving. And thank you so much for uplifting and living by what you said, Harnaaz. Just like people like Lara Datta, people like Sushmita Sen, they have, as Indian beauties, they've lived up to what they said on the stage. It was just not faff. So I think that brings a lot of pride to all Indians and all Indian queens who have really set new standards for beauty and for women in general. Yeah. And even
Absolutely. I
Steve
think
Harvey
our
was
Indian queens
smiling.
have
So
set
in
the
fact,
bar up
he
so
knew
high.
that it's game over. So
The presenters also know that, all right, because they have that, ability to also know what the judges are thinking about. They have hosted, many, many shows as well, and they have a certain amount of favorites like they like. You can make it by the body language who are their favorites, because they're also rooting inside their heart as the presenters do. Carson Kressley, yeah. He did not mention Harnaz, I remember. Chelsea Chris did not mention Harnaz, I still remember. So I was like, yeah, seriously, guys.
and I love the
So
fact that
I do not
she
like
had
that backstage, the backstage host. I did not like them because they were being very partial. And I think they were just really underestimating India for a fact. So that pissed me off at all, because they were all that American crap. And come on, guys, get over it. So this was what happened in the final question and answer, and of course, then came the final walk. So take a look at that. Was fantastic, because I still remember when I saw her coming down that staircase. I was like, don't slip, don't slip, don't slip, don't slip. I was like so nervous, but this girl doesn't give a damn about stairs, She was so fluid, and you could see nervousness in the other two girls when they were walking down. They were doing this little hesitance, but with Harnaz, it was a flow. I mean, my God, this girl can walk, she can pose, and she knows how to own it, and that's what I saw. So I think I think the nerves were so, my nerves, I think they were just they bursted. I don't know what happened. I just could not breathe. I cannot tell you. It was, I think, almost 6 o'clock in the morning in India when I was watching this, and I think was having like I don't know how many cigarettes I must have had. I still remember oil in my hair. I was cold, and I hadn't washed my hair. I was just sitting up, like having coffee with Guru, and oh my God, this was like. I can't imagine. I can't tell you how I felt, Guru. I
Yeah,
think we were
it
like
was an
going to
out
just
of
collapse. I
it
think I
was
was
a
just going
very,
to
very
faint,
different
you know?
experience. It was a very different experience. It was like we were a part of that whole moment being created. I still
Yes,
remember she was the only one that got a
yes.
full close up
Hmm,
at the end of the Hallelujah song, and that's where I looked outside my
hmm,
window and I said, God, give me a sign. And suddenly I see sunrise. It was like
hmm.
I came back to Emma. I said, deal done. She is winning.
Oh.
And it was like, really? I said, yes, she's winning. And I remember it was work. I said, I'll work from home and we need to capture this moment.
Hmm,
And did we capture that moment?
hmm.
Now is the final crowning. Let's have a look at the final crowning moment, guys, and take a look.
And the new Miss Universe is India.
Okay. This was it, Guru. Oh my God. I mean, the way she just dropped down. Oh, and she just fell to her knees and
I've
then
never seen a 21-year-old or a winner so nervous, so much shaking. She's looking at the stars,
she was
looking at the
praying. She was
sky.
looking,
She's
and
like,
that moment when she looked up at the sky, oh
please,
God,
it's like,
she looked
God,
up
please
and
give
she was
it to
praying.
me. Please give it to me.
Yeah.
Please, 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 please.
It was like, oh my God. And then when the crown came,
It was
she's the first, I
perfection.
think she's the first one who took the blessing from the crown before she was
Yes,
crowned.
it
Um,
was beautiful.
and then, yeah, it was absolutely,
Even the way
it was
Andrea
a very
Meza gave her
emotional
the
moment
gown,
for Indians.
even the
Hmm.
way Andrea gave her the crown, I think that sisterhood was very evident. Normally, you see the winner and the
Hmm.
winner, they're like aloof. But I think both of them hugged.
Yeah.
They had a good time and a moment together. It was perfection. I think the
Hmm.
most perfect crowning moment ever, if I may say. Take the
Absolutely.
liberty of saying it.
Absolutely. And I always wonder, you know, Nadia was all smiling and nervous as well, but Harnaaz was just in deep prayer throughout that. She was just
Seriously, I
praying in
think,
that moment. And then there's a moment she was about to cry when she looks up, and then I was like dying.
and the
Tears started
crowd,
to
yeah,
crawl. Like,
we were crying, and it was a
you were going
beautiful
to see
moment.
the reaction video of what happened. We're going to put that up. And when this was announced and how I screamed, you can just hear me. But Guru was like, and after that, what happened? So this is what happened. After the show ended, like we were obviously video calling and we were crying. I don't know for how
Yeah,
long
we
you and
kept on
I
crying. I think
were
we
talking to
kept
each
on
other.
scrolling
And we
Instagram.
even
Oh my
recorded.
God.
We
Yeah,
recorded.
later on we saw the whole touching of the crown and taking blessings came as a Instagram. Little later on we saw from a different
Yeah,
pose, and it was like, oh my God, look at
yeah.
this poor girl. Like it was a manifestation. I think we lived a part of that victory that day, and it was surreal. It
Mhm.
was
Absolutely. I think that's what kind of, for Guru and me, I think it just awakened something in us. Like, we just want to be part of it and we need to be officially part of it in some way. And that's when the seed came into our mind that we wanted to do Pageant Gurus. We actually started the channel, but it was not officially live. So we had everything Pageant Gurus put up, but that's it. So the channel was made, but there was no video uploaded until a year later. So it began from there. And then, of course, life came in, gets in the way and we get busy and things like that. But I guess everything has a destined moment when we had to start because her reign had already started, and that's when the bludgeoning started and the bullying started. And we were like, all right, you know what? We're not going to take that. Not for our queen, not for Harnaaz, and we
I think that's
shouldn't.
where, the
No.
passion became a purpose.
Yes. It's like everything is destiny. Like when there's a reason behind something and there's a meaning, then it makes sense. It was just not to make a channel. It was to make a channel with a difference, with a purpose. And we always talk about bringing the community together and calling a spade as well, but not encouraging bullying in any sort of a way. And we have seen that even till now it's going on. We're going to be doing a whole lot of shows covering a lot of iconic queens winning moments. So guys, I want you to engage with us. Let us know
Yes.
who you'd like us to showcase next, because we are planning to do crowniversaries of all Indian queens, obviously. Yeah, with world's first duo of pageant vloggers. But let us know, which queen would you like us to showcase next? Let us know when their crowniversary was, and we'll try to make an episode. And of course, a special mention would go out to you as well. So let us know what you think about this. How did you feel during this entire moment that was so proud for India and a lot of supporters of India worldwide? Let us know what you felt, and of course, try and share with us what was the funniest moment, because we were crying like crazy. We're going to show the video at the end, because we love you, because it's very embarrassing, but we're still going to show you that moment. So do share with us how you felt at this moment as well. Well, till then, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified on our upcoming videos, because there's going to be lots more. We did this episode for Harnaaz's anniversary, so well, here it's for you. Have a look. And then, of course, we're sending a lot of love to Harnaaz. And well, thank you, sweetheart. Hopefully one day, inshallah, you'll be on our show. So, well, let's
Inshallah.
see. So take care, guys. Have a
Yes.
wonderful week ahead. And well, stay warm where you are, and we'll see you soon. That's it for us.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
And
Shukriya.
yeah.